I'm headed to the homestead. I'll be sleeping in my own bed this evening. First time for that in, I don't know, 2 weeks. It's been an interesting journey. Nice trip. Had a good time. Things working out pretty well. I am way overloaded for weight. I'm about 100 miles from Louisville, Kentucky. Hello, Joe. Hello, Mr. Wookich. Yep, headed on my way back. I'm going to be in North Carolina tonight. Hello, Mr. Boudreau, Eric. Looks like I'm just now crossing over Interstate 69, which I'm on 64, crossing over 69, headed east. Hello, Mr. Sappington. It's and Wanda. Hello. Oh, what? Oh, those boxes. You ain't seen nothing yet, hon. I feel like I'm carrying about 4 elephants in here. Oh, there's Crispy and Raymond. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Good morning. I'm pretty happy with what I've picked up this time overall. Bunch of stuff. I have been buying, working on getting everything all situated for the remainder of, well, the season, the year, the whatever. Can take a small tour here and look in the back at everything I have. This vehicle is loaded to the gills. Hello, Rhonda. I am just crossed over into Indiana from Illinois. I'm on Interstate 64, headed toward Louisville, and then on to eastern Kentucky and West Virginia. And I will be home sometime tonight. I have a stop to make in West Virginia. I'll be there for a couple of hours, and then I'll be on the road home. Very shaky the ground is this morning. Trying to drive this thing. It's very unusual, very different from normal, I think. Every single bump. Yeah, should I be in an armored truck? Probably. That might get, it wouldn't get better mileage, but it would get better wear and tear, I think. I don't know what I was thinking when I drove this Santa Fe across the country to pick up loads and loads of stuff. Let's see, what do I have? I have a whole bunch of early Lincolns, probably 5 or 6 single row boxes and a couple of double row boxes, all early stuff. Oh, I'm past Highway 41. I just crossed over 69 not long ago. But let's see. I picked up 4 mint sealed bags of pennies. I picked up about 5 or 6 other bags. A couple of them early wheats. A couple of them are just regular wheat cents. Let's see, what else did I pick up? A 15 drawer library file cabinet, like a card file cabinet, like you used to see in the library at school. I picked up one of those. It's solid oak and it's heavy. So I've got an oak cabinet. I've got a few thousand of these. Like this one. Or maybe like this one. there's a lot of them in here. I've got probably every crook and cranny in here. I've got filled up with pennies in some shape, form, or fashion. I picked up a whole bunch of documents and other antique things from my aunt who needed assistance in selling the items, so I'm going to be selling a lot of stuff. Let's see. I also picked up something very interesting. If you'll look up, let's see, U.S. Mint 3-inch bronze presidential. I think that's about all you would need to type into eBay. It would be U.S. Mint 3-inch bronze presidential. You'll come up with a series of medals that were made by the U.S. Mint sometime in the 60s and 70s. I don't exactly know how many there are in the total series, but I'm sure I have most of them. I'll see you, Richard. I'm sure I have most of them. I don't know how many are in the series, but I have a total of 84 of these medals. They're bronze medals. Very nice. I've also got a bunch of other things, commemoratives to the Apollo program, commemoratives to the bicentennial. I've got commemoratives to Nixon, Kennedy, Lincoln, a bunch of presidential things. Interesting stuff. I'm not sure how much would be interesting to the community I generally serve, but a lot of these will run on eBay and they'll do okay on eBay. They won't do great, but they'll do okay on eBay. So a lot of experience I've gained. Met some new people, met some new dealers, got some new contacts. I got to go to Arkansas with my brother and got to hang out at a cabin on the edge of a bluff overlooking the Buffalo River in Arkansas. Beautiful area, really nice area. We got a lot of one-on-one time to sit and chit-chat and talk and learn more about each other. I'll see you, Rhonda. Let's see. I guess that's about it. Of course, I went to the fun show. I was back in early July. And then I went to the Missouri Numismatic Society show. That was in St. Charles a couple of weekends ago. St. Charles, Missouri. And I got to meet Farm Dog. I got to meet Marked Money Tech. And I got to meet up with Adam Chambers, and we all had dinner together. It was a very interesting, very fun conversation we had. As far as my own health, I feel great. I don't think I could feel much better right now. Well, I could, but not a whole lot better than I do. I got to hike 5 or 6 miles up and down hills and cliff sides and through rivers and stuff with my brother, and spent good time doing that. Good time going up and down the creek next to his property. Just had a good time. It was a really good time. I'm completely refreshed. I'm ready to get back to work. I will be having an auction on Sunday. That'll be your first opportunity to get into some of the things that I picked up on my journey. I've got a lot of new stuff, a lot of nice stuff. I've got 31S's. I've got 1909S's. I've got, I did have the opportunity to purchase a number of 1914Ds. However, I didn't purchase any of them. And the reason for is that it seems the market is climbing faster than the guides are, and I didn't realize it. I went through looking at a bunch of 1914Ds at some of my dealer wholesalers, and their prices were above retail. and expect that if you need to buy a 14D, and you are going to buy a 14D anytime soon, that your 14D will be priced above retail, most likely. I probably still should have bought some of them, but I did not, and probably to my own loss. And my apologies to anyone who was watching for me to get a 14D. I don't have one. 09S VDBs have climbed significantly in value over the last 6 months. At this point last year, you could have had a 09S VDB in AU for about $1,000, and now they're more like $1,400. So expect that to be a slightly higher price than you would be used to paying. I didn't really see any other gross price increases on anything else. Everything seems to be rather stable, which is a good sign that it's a relatively strong market, however not overbearing. And availability was rather good. There's plenty of stuff out there. It's a lot of it's just price high. I got lucky and found a number of really good deals on things. I actually found a 1922 No D strong reverse die pair number 2 in very fine plus condition. However, I purchased it and sold it on the same day, so I do not have it now. Let's see. As for anything else, I have seen a lot of coins. I've seen a lot of silver. I've seen a lot of everything, and pretty much stayed on course with mostly just nickels and pennies. I do have a few other things that will shock and surprise at all of you. However, none of it really exciting, none of it really high dollar. The pennies are probably the most exciting part of the whole gig, and there's plenty of them. Yeah, trust me. I've got, well, let's see. I've purchased uncirculated rolls all the way back to 1936. I haven't pulled a whole lot of wheat rolls. Most of what I have here is memorial rolls. Lots and lots and lots of 1968D. I love 68D. It's my favorite. Let's see. I guess that's about it. My drive this morning was very rainy and very wet up until about 20 minutes ago. It rained on me all the way through Illinois, and I left Marion Carbondale area this morning at around 6 a.m. It's 8:30 local. And well, that's all I have. If anybody else wants to ask any questions specifically that I might be able to answer. 68D is your favorite too, Wanda? That's awesome. I got some hole fillers for you. There's any questions anyone might have regarding the market, regarding what I picked up, any general questions, I'm more than open. I don't have anything specific right now. Sherman is ready for me to come home, I'm sure. He doesn't realize that I'm ever coming back, but he'll know it as soon as I walk in the door. He'll know I'm back. He had injured his leg, or actually his foot. It was a toe that he injured while I was giving him a bath like 3 weeks ago Saturday. And he limped around real bad for about a week. But wife says the day after I left, he got better. And he's stopped limping now. He seems to be fine. Robert, the humidity's been up and down all over where I've been. I spent Friday night and part of Saturday. Well, actually, we spent most of Friday and part of Saturday in Jasper, Arkansas, at a cabin overlooking the bluff. And it rained a little bit on us Friday, but man, Saturday morning, it was dumping buckets of rain. It was nasty raining. I mean, kind of like ugly cry. That's kind of what the sky was doing. We, honestly, I first got up around 5 a.m., 5:15 a.m., somewhere around there, and looked outside, and it was just pouring down rain. And I kind of snoozed and went back to sleep, woke up a little bit later, but I had been enjoying some beverage with my brother on the back patio, and it got dark, and we just sat there in the dark drinking. And as the night went on, we decided to go in and go to bed. We left the mess outside because we knew we'd just be right back out there in the morning cleaning it up. There was an empty drinking glass out there, and it was a regular sized drinking glass. When I do it right. And when we went back out in the morning to clean up, there were almost 6 inches of water in that cup, in that glass. Now, there was no spigot. There was no other way for it to get in there except for rain. So we had somewhere between 5 and 6 inches of rain overnight. And it rained on us all day Saturday. We did make a couple of stops and got a little bit wet enjoying ourselves, but it was a good day nonetheless. Eric, I don't know if I'm actually becoming a morning person. I think I'm getting up in the morning out of necessity, but we'll see what happens. If I end up going to bed at 10:30 tonight just because I'm really tired, then I get up at 6 in the morning tomorrow, then we'll know I'm an early person. 68D, my favorite because it's the year I was born, and I like the RPMs and double dies you can find on 1968D. It's always been my hope to be able to discover something new and get my name on something for 68D, just because. I only have 2 original bank wrap rolls in my personal collection. And those 2 original bank wrap rolls came from Memphis, Tennessee, wrapped in 1968 with 68 pennies in it. Well, anybody who knows history about Memphis, Tennessee in 1968, that would happen to be the year in which April Martin Luther King Jr. was assassinated at the Lorraine Motel in Memphis, Tennessee. And it's just kind of a neat to have thing, a roll of pennies that could have been sitting in the bank the day he was shot, just down the street. So it's 1968 has always been my year. 68 has always been my favorite number, and my football jersey number when I was in football is also well, you put a 1 in front of it. It happens to be the flight number that I was in Air Force basic training. I was in BMT 3123. Is that right? 3123. Basic Military Training Squadron, BMTS. Flight number 168. So 68's been following me around for my entire life. And so I'm a 68 person. I enjoyed it. Love it. Liked the trip. Had a good time. Been gone for long enough. Time to get back, get to work, get things done. I have plenty with which I can work. I got so much stuff in here. I can feel every single bump I drive over. It's like if I hit a speed bump, the entire transaction would fall out the back of his car. Sacred geometry? No, I haven't. I never studied sacred geometry. Now I'm really kind of unsure as to what that is. The way I talk about numbers. I know I got a couple of numbers that follow me around. One of them 68. And the other number I seem to have following me around is 1122. 1122. That's the day my sister had her baby, my niece. It's also the day my ex-wife was born. They shared the same birthday, and then my sister married a man who was born that day as well. And it's a very odd thing that I tend to hear or look at a clock very frequently when it's 11:22. 11:22 a.m., 11:22 p.m. I don't know what it is. You know, sometimes I get a little tired and I look over at the clock to see what time it is before I go to bed. It's 11:22. Sometimes I just happen to be, stomach grumbling, getting ready for lunch, and it's 11:22. And well, last night I was talking to my hosts, and I asked, well, what time is it? I think I'm getting tired enough to go to bed. Somebody said, 11:22. Now, people who don't realize that 11:22 follows me around use those numbers, and it just comes out. It's like, really, I guess I probably hear just as many other numbers, but 11:22 seems to hit me on the head. I'm not superstitious. I'm not. I'm a spiritual person, but not a overly spiritual person. I'm not. The number 13 doesn't bother me. 666 doesn't bother me. Geometric proportion. I've never really thought about. I guess 11 is half of 22. 22 divided by 2 is 11. 68 is divisible by, let's see, 8. Is it divisible by 6? No. 8, 4, 2. I don't know. It's probably divisible by much larger numbers, like 34. I guess I'm just blabbing now. Well, I didn't know there was a Jasper in Indiana. We stayed in Jasper, Arkansas, and I have a friend who lives near Jasper, Alabama. North Carolina Hills. That word has a particular meaning. A Jasper is a foreigner. Jasper is a person who doesn't really belong. They say things like, oh, pay no mind to him, he's just a Jasper. That name's been following me around this week. Well, hello, Gulf Coast Treasure Hunter. Yes, there is an auction on Sunday. You're going to basic training, military basic training? You're my hero, man. Going in the military? Which, Fibonacci. See, I understand Fibonacci. I do understand how that works. I also understand prime numbers. There's a number of different things that I get when it comes to math, but none of it really has any particular meaning to me, if that makes any sense. 70 miles to Louisville, 70 miles. I have another friend near Jasper, Georgia, don't I? Army National Guard. Well, you go get it, brother. Thank you for volunteering to serve in our military. I'm sure all the torchbearers between me and you have taken good care of it. When you take the torch, it'll be a good thing to you if you let it be. So we'll see you when you get back home from basic. I guess it's an 8-week training. Then you probably have MOS training after that. then you'll be back home. It's a very interesting state. They grow a lot of corn here, and in Illinois. My gosh, I never realized how much corn there was in Illinois until I actually started driving a number of the country roads. Robbie, my buddy, took me from the Springfield show in Springfield, Illinois last week. He decided to drive me to some of the counties I've never been to, because I keep track of all the counties I've ever been to, oddly enough. I do collect more than one thing. Counties is one of them. So I have now been to Wabash County, Illinois, and Clay County, Illinois. There's a few different counties in Illinois that I had never been to, that I have now. I've been on this drive before. This is the route that I took. Oh, your MOS training is long? Awesome, man. Make sure you keep in touch with me. I mean, at least send me a message or once in a while, okay, Brantley? Make sure you do. I want to hear from you. I want to know where you are and what you're doing. But this route is specifically the route that I took when I lived in Springfield, Missouri. And I did the, which show was it? It was the Whitman show in Baltimore in November of 2007. A Whitman show. And I drove this route through the Evansville area, through Louisville and eastern Kentucky. And then I cut up, I went to Charleston, West Virginia, and then went up through the little panhandle of Maryland across to Baltimore, which 82 was recently discovered. Wait a minute. Good morning, Thomas. Which 82 was recently discovered, small date or large date in Denver or Philadelphia? Recently being a few years ago, there was a 1982D small date bronze, the small date copper, was discovered. All of the 1982 small date Denver Mint Lincoln cents minted were officially minted in zinc. However, now I believe 3 or 4 of them have been found in copper or bronze. A little bit about the composition of the Lincoln cent. It was French bronze, which is a mix of copper, tin, and zinc up until 1962, with the exception of 1943. That started in 1864 with the switch over to bronze from copper nickel. They minted them that way until 1962, minus 1943, of course. And 1962, they dropped the tin and specifically went with copper and zinc. It's 95% copper, 5% zinc. That lasted until 1982 when they switched over to the zinc, the pure zinc core with a copper bath. Now, the composition of the coins from 1962 to 1982 would officially be called brass, because there was no tin in them for them to be called bronze, and they are not just copper. So officially, the coins from 1962 to 1982 are brass. And yes, it was a small date. So you check your 1982 small date Lincoln cents. So 82D small date Lincoln cents. You check all of them for them to be made of brass. The way you do that, the easiest way to do it, is to drop them on a table and listen to them settle. If they settle with a high-pitched ring, they're made of brass. If they have like a dead thud sound, like a piece of lead, then they're the zinc coins. You can test that method by grabbing anything 1981 or before, and then grab anything 1983 or after, and you will be sure to have a brass coin or a bronze coin. And a zinc coin. And once you're sure you have that, you drop them on a table and listen to them. A scale would work, but a scale is more difficult. A scale requires more time, and it requires more effort. I can sort a roll of pennies. I could sort a roll of mixed 1982 pennies by the metal composition inside of 15 seconds. You can't do that with a scale. So, unless the entire roll happens to be one or the other and you weigh the entire roll. Yes, the zinc is 2.5 grams. The brass is 3.1. 3.1 grams is what you would be looking for on a 1982D small date, and that would be the rarity. I have a video on my channel about the difference between the small and the large date. They're pretty easy to tell the difference. Something on my leg, a mosquito or a fly. But yeah, that's the difference. That's the rarity. Mad genius. I don't know about that. I've just absorbed this stuff for long enough to know about it. Let's see. I didn't make any big discoveries in any varieties or anything like that while I was out. I did pick up a few rolls with varieties in them. Let's see. I brought a bunch of stuff to send into NGC for grading while I was at the show, and I didn't ever see NGC because they didn't go to the show. So now I'm carrying all my stuff back home to submit to NGC otherwise. Let's see. I don't know. Any questions? Anybody have anything they want to ask me specifically? I've been on for 32 minutes. I've been blabbering long enough. About time somebody said something to get me going. This is my boredom period. At least I'm out of the rain. No more rain on this trip. It's actually a decent day outside. I don't know. Let's see, what's the temperature? Temperature is 80 degrees. So given that it's only 80 degrees, it should feel pretty nice, but that will rise quickly as the sun peeks out from behind the clouds. Got 10 people in here right now. Got 10 people watching right now. Got only 5 likes. Give me a like if you can. Roll reveal material. Roll reveals. Let's see. In the road. I'm driving behind a dump truck, and I've got a white Infinity behind me. Nope, that's a Lexus. Sorry. He's gonna pass me soon. I'm only driving like at 70 miles an hour. I'm trying to get my gas to last me till I get into Kentucky. Indiana has some higher gas prices. I'm gonna stay away from Indiana's gas and get Kentucky gas. It's cheaper. Looks like I'm going to end up having to pass these trucks. They're going a little too slow. But I'm only 30 miles from Kentucky now. I'll get to Kentucky and then I'll gas up somewhere near Louisville. Weigh my truck I wish I knew where I could go weigh it. I would. I'd like to weigh it now and then weigh it again when it's empty and see what the difference is. Can a person's chance I could be overweight for 2 axles and then I can weigh at a truck stop? Hello, Jesse. Hi, Tech Star. It would be nice to weigh in because for one, I would just like to know how much I've got packed in this thing. I know I've got enough to make the springs wiggle a little bit. It feels heavier than normal. I will be safe, Jesse. doing my very best to make sure I get back in one piece. It just started getting a little hilly on me here. I didn't realize there were this many hills in southern Indiana. Recycling center. Yeah, see, I'd have to find one. I don't know that I've really got time to mess with that. But if I go to a truck stop and want to weigh on the scales, I guess I could. And then I can find a truck stop near home after I'm empty. Or I could just Google the dry weight of a the dry weight of a 2011 Hyundai Santa Fe. That's what I'm driving. 2011 Hyundai Santa Fe. Now, I don't know what the dry weight of one of those is, but get an approximation anyway. Probably within 100 pounds of how heavy my vehicle should be. Partially declared. Wait a minute. It disappeared on me. Do I in the market with known variety visible? No, I don't. Very few defaced dies from the last. I had another. For some reason, this thing loses chat. Use the mean, yeah, the mean weight. Year 2011. 2011 Hyundai Santa Fe. There we go. Mucho better. Of course, I can't see the chat very well. Wanda says, be right back. Wanda's going to go find out how much my vehicle is supposed to weigh empty so that I can weigh it full, find out what the difference is. I don't know how to keep the chat up on the screen. It disappears before I can read it. It said something about 1982, but I don't know what it was. It'd be nice if I could just open it up so you guys could talk to me. It'd be nice to be able to have a voice-to-voice conversation. But I do not know how to keep my chat alive. So somebody's going to have to say something for me to be able to read the words, because my chat will not stay on my screen. See how long that lag takes. I'm going into hills too, so 82D small dates, I have around 11 rolls to check in BU. And I took out of the OBW rolls and put them in tubes. Well, there you go. 11 rolls. That's a lot. I don't even think I have 11 rolls of them. They're not easy to find. Out of the 82s, all of the coppers are Philadelphia. It's be a little bit difficult to find. The hardest one is the small date zinc, Philadelphia. 3725 to 4120. That's over 400 pounds. The 400 pound difference. I guess I'll have to have it weighed so I know the weight of my specific vehicle without the coins. But yeah, certainly I will be able to see some indication of what's going on once I get weighed. I'm going to look for a truck stop and I'll go live. As soon as I find a truck stop, I'll go live if I find a scale that'll let me weigh. No third row seating. Not in this one. So it's a regular sport model, 6-cylinder. It's what the hell did they call this? Anyhow, it's only got 2 rows of seating. The rest is cargo space, which right now is filled. Does anybody here have any interest in sterling silver medals from Franklin Mint? I have a set of all 50 states, and then I have a set of what would you call it? The 13 colonies, the original. I cannot believe that I can't keep the chat on the screen long enough to see it. There's got to be something I can do to make it stay. Somebody will have to type something so I can see. Front door for a sticker should have the gross weight. Okay. That's cool. I'll do that when I stop. That'll be interesting. Okay, so we're gonna have a payload contest. I have an oak cabinet, somewhere in the neighborhood of 1,000 rolls of pennies, and my luggage, myself. What else? That's about it, I guess. So that's the stuff I have on me. So now we're going to get a guess, of course, minus the driver, because the driver will be in the vehicle both weigh-ins. What is the weight of everything except the human being in the vehicle right now? Closest guess wins. And it looks like I've only got 9 people to make a guess. You have to make it during the live. If I click on the stream, see, oh no, we're talking about the weight of what I'm carrying. You think 4,825? I hope not. 5,385 pounds? We're not talking about including the vehicle. We're only talking about the payload itself. Only the payload. I don't think it's anywhere near that, but okay, Eric says 1245. Jesse says 450. I'll have to go back and look at the comments on this. Hey Eric, if you could make a note of these for me, because I can't. Let's see, I've got Wanda says 1,500. Jim says 827. Thomas says 250. I know it's over 250. It's what I've got in the floorboard in the front is over 250. And then I've got four bags of 74D. I've got 2 bags of 1976. I've got 2 or 3 wheat bags. Raymond says 815. Somebody said 300 something. I don't know. I got there too late. So Eric, if you make a note of all these numbers for me, as soon as I find out, probably after I go into Kentucky and get gas, I'll stop at a truck stop and I'll ask him if I can do a weigh-in. And I'll subtract my present weight. I'll subtract the gross weight of the vehicle on the door jamb from my present weight, which I guess will include me. Jess Minder said 376. Thomas Allen said 575. What's the question? Okay, Joe. The question is, how much is my payload? How much weight is my payload? I have, I'm going to say 800 to 1,000 rolls of pennies in here. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, probably 11 or 12 bags of pennies. I've got a solid oak 15 drawer library card file cabinet that has a table base and it has a solid oak topper. I have 63 ounces of sterling silver. I have 84 7.7 ounce bronze medals. I have other various coins. I have boxes and boxes and boxes of old wheat cents. So guess that payload. Tell me how much I weigh minus my body and minus the car. So I'll get a total weight. I'll subtract the car's weight plus my body weight, and whoever's closest wins. And Eric will let me know later on who the winner is once I announce. It'll be on a live that I'll be doing a little bit later because I'm still, I don't know, probably about 60 miles from Louisville. I plan on driving all the way through Louisville before I stop, if I can. So Eric should be keeping track of weights, and we'll get a winner drawn up. Once we get a winner drawn up, I'll figure out what I can send to the winner. Wanda's sticking with the original number. That's persistence, Wanda. Right or wrong, you made your story and you're sticking to it. £200? Yeah, I don't think so. I weigh over 200 pounds, and I know that the contents of this car are well over my body weight. But we'll find out. I had to put extra air in my tires. If you can believe that. Yeah, my suspension is kind of whining at me right now. You can tell I'm bouncing on every possible bump. I'm finding them. I'm thinking perhaps the truck's over 13-ton speed limit should be mine. Louisville is 43 miles away. So I'm going to end this here in about a minute. Keep driving along to my destination, get weighed as soon as I can get my gas in my car, get back on the highway, and give everybody a chance to come back in and see what the actual numbers really are, so I could turn anything into a game. Oh, plus or minus 200 from the 1500. That would be cheating, Wanda. It has to be one number. I will be accounting for a full tank. I'll get weighed before I fill up, though. I'm at less than a quarter of a tank now. So we won't be counting for the gas. We're just going to do my body weight and the gross weight of the vehicle minus the total net weight on the scale. I'm leaving the Hoosier National Forest. I did not realize there was a Hoosier National Forest, but now I know. So it's these things that you learn while you're driving around the country. Sunflower seed. Had a lone sunflower seed on my coffee cup. I didn't want to let it go waste. Oh, I am heading down a long hill. I realized there were hills like this in Indiana. And basically what sums up the southern tip of Indiana, I guess, as I'm getting close to Louisville. Be crossing over the Ohio River. Well, folks, from mile marker 89 on Interstate 64 in the Hoosier state of Indiana, I, for the moment, bid you farewell. and I will get this thing weighed and gassed up, get back on the highway, and come back on live. Should be within the next hour. So I will talk to you guys later. Looks like I've got a truck stop coming up, so it could be sooner than later. Anyhow, I'll talk at you guys after a bit, and I'll come back on. Be well, and if you can't make it, I'll see you at the auction on Sunday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. I'll get a list up tomorrow of everything that I'm going to have on there, and talk at you then.